My name is Rob Wallace. I am your life coach and spiritual mentor, and this is Self Love with Law of Attraction. Hello, wonderful people. Welcome to Module 4 of your Self Love with Law of Attraction course. And today's topic is the Law of Reconciliation. Now, what is the law of reconciliation? Well, in a nutshell, the law of reconciliation is the reconciliation of opposition. It's the reconciliation of opposites. And in respect to self-love, it is you reconciling with you. It's your ego reconciling with the higher part of yourself, okay? It's your material mind, your thinking mind, reconciling with the fact that there is a higher and more divinely intelligent aspect to your own being, which guides you in a language which goes beyond the spoken and written word. It's a language of feeling and imagination. And it's here that I'm going to make a bold statement which may lead to further questions by most of you, okay? And that is, there is no such thing as opposites. Now, that's an extremely deep and philosophical thing to say to you guys. I understand that. But what do I mean by there is no opposites? And how does that relate to you reconciling with you? Love has no opposition. And some of you might say that hate is the opposite of love. That's actually false. Hate is not the opposite of love. And I'm going to repeat myself here. Love has no opposition. Hate is actually the opposite of self-righteousness. Complete hate is actually self-hatred. It's complete destruction on the inside. It's when a person no longer believes in themselves. You see? The person doesn't believe in anything on the outside, therefore there's nothing to hate on the outside. So the person finds hate within themselves. Okay? Hate is self-destruction. That's what hate is. And so the opposite of hate is narcissism, self-preservation at any cost. And what that is someone who is willing to preserve themselves, that is, to preserve the image of themselves at any cost. So hate is self-destruction at any cost, and so the opposite of hate is self-preservation at any cost, which is narcissism. Because on one hand, one has got no regard for themselves whatsoever, and on the other hand, one has got too much regard for themselves. You see? That's opposition. What sits in between these two oppositions? What creates a chance for these two oppositions to come together and raise their own standard of being is love. Because love sits in the center of all being. Love is that which holds the balance of two oppositions, which are really two split off parts of the one body of love. Hate, that is, self-destruction at any cost, and self-preservation at any cost, are actually the two halves of love when love is not realized. Two oppositions, that is, two extremes, are actually two halves of the same body of being which is not realized. So when you no longer believe in love, love will always still be there, but love will be there in two halves. It will be there in opposition because all you believe in is opposition. You see? That's how law of attraction works. Love is everywhere, even in opposition. But love only exists in opposition to the person who doesn't believe in love, but only believes in opposition and judgment. When you believe in love, you believe everything is one, you see? So you see everything as one. But for as long as you don't believe in love, for as long as you're cynical of love, and for as long as you create judgments towards others and to yourself, then love will be portrayed to you in the manner in which you believe in the existence of love. And the two most parts which you must reconcile is your material mind and your spiritual mind. So many people walk through this life unaware that there's anything beyond the material mind. And when I speak of the material mind, I'm talking about the chit-chattering mind in which you can hear the voices of your own thoughts, or you can see the visualizations of your own ideas. But there is a higher mind, or should I say, there is a higher part to the whole body of your mind which sits beyond the material part of your mind, and that is your non-physical spiritual mind. Now, think of a tree, okay? The tree's roots sit underneath the earth and cannot see the body that sits above the earth. And therefore, the roots of the tree thinks it exists as a body unto itself. Now, I'm only speaking in an allegorical fashion here, okay? But it's equivalent to how your mind works. Your mind, because it cannot see the spiritual part of its body, assumes that it doesn't exist. But we know it exists because the spiritual part of your body speaks to you through the language of feeling, through the language of intuition, through that language which cannot be explained. It speaks to you in those moments when you get hunches to take these risks which improve your life, such as that sudden feeling you get to apply for a promotion, or that sudden feeling you get to buy that winning lottery ticket, or that sudden feeling you get to speak to that person you've got a crush on. It's that sudden feeling that you get, that little subtle, sudden feeling that touches you to tell you to do something which ends up leading onto something else which makes your life more fulfilling. That is the higher part of yourself speaking to you. It's that part which sits beyond your material thought. Now let's look at the tarot card, the Lovers, because this is a fantastic esoteric story of the workings of your whole mind. You have the male, you have the female, and then you have the sun sitting above both of them, okay? Notice how the female lover has her hand held out for the man to take, okay? Now, what that's telling you is that the material mind, which is the male, which is that part of the mind which moves, okay? Your thought moves, as in your thought penetrates. The subconscious is the female mind. It is that which absorbs the thought, okay? And the sun is what holds the two opposites together, okay? So when these two opposites come together, They come together under the one true light of love. That's how two opposites come together. It's when one extends a hand to the other so that they may become one under the true light of love, so that they may become one, as in, so that they may join up and become the one body of love. And so, how does this apply to your everyday life? For example, how does this apply when you're confronted by someone who's negative? More often than not, what people try to do is argue with negativity. They try to fight negativity with negativity, you see. Someone thinks they're being positive by trying to put down negativity. Someone thinks they're being positive by trying to penetrate judgment upon negativity, you see. But that's not bringing the situation to a resolve. All you're doing there is repelling any chance of reconciliation. You're not helping the negative person, and you're certainly not helping yourself grow by running away for a chance to grow. Okay? Growth comes through reconciliation. And here's how it works. When you're confronted with a negative person, it's your job to climb down off the high horse of judgment, okay? And to raise negativity out of its state of being. It's not about tolerating negativity, it's about raising negativity in the same way that a farmer raises crops. The farmer plants seeds. So, rather than argue with the negative person, what you should be doing is planting seeds of encouragement for them to grow. You see, doesn't have to be completely positive, as long as the way in which you're interacting with the negative person is that form of interaction which leaves them walking away with a thought which is going to one day help them to actually grow out of their state of negativity. That is you sending them an invitation to meet themselves in the center of being. And by that process, you have also invited yourself into your own center of being through understanding. Now, when it comes to judging yourself, it's the same process. Now, here's the thing. No one is even capable of judging another person until they're capable of judging themselves. This is why I always say a person who judges other people judges themselves worst. And the reason I say that is quite simple. Because a person is not capable of judging another person until they judge themselves first. And the way you get round that is to stop judging yourself and to look at that part of yourself that you don't like and to raise it. Okay? What you're really doing is raising yourself out of the state of judgment. Because when you do that, you'll have no other option left but to view yourself as pure love. That is reconciliation. That is you raising yourself out of the state of opposition. The reason I wanted to get into this topic was to really drive home to you that you shouldn't be looking at life as something which is in opposition to you. You should be looking at life as something that is for you, okay? This is a whole reason why I've created this module. It's to instill in your brain that you shouldn't be looking for any resistance in life. You should be looking to embrace life and basically take life by the you-know-whats, okay? That is the whole reason for this module. Now, today's exercise is going to be a study of the symbol yin-yang, okay? Now, we're going to do it together. We're going to go through it quickly, and then you could go away on your own and study the symbol even more, okay? So you can pause the audio, and when you come back with an image of the yin-yang, now you could find it in a book or online, but you can pause the audio at any time and come back here, and now we will go through the yin-yang symbol together and do a small interactive study of the symbol, okay? Now I want you just to look at the symbol just now. And don't tell me, just think in your head what you see. Because what most people see when they look at yin-yang is black and white. What they see is opposites. What they see is two things. See? What they're seeing is duality. Duality means opposites. Duality means two sides. Okay? Now, what yin-yang is actually teaching you is that opposites are a perception. That's what it's teaching you. The symbol yin-yang is not saying opposites exist. They're saying opposites exist as a perception of the whole. Because the yin-yang, if you look at it, if you look past the two symbols in yin-yang, that's the black and white, all you have is a circle. All you have is a whole. You see? All you have is everything contained in the whole. And not only that, the yin-yang is actually a very story-filled symbol. It may not look like it, but it's full of the story of creation. But in terms of opposites, what the symbol yin-yang is telling you is that there is no opposites. If you look at the white side, it's got a little black dot and vice versa. It's telling you that each side's nature is in the other, and they do not become whole until they come together as lovers. And if you look at the yin-yang symbol, it's a very basic symbol that almost looks like two lovers reconciling, just like I spoke about in the tarot card. And through reconciliation, two things become one in the center of being, which is love, because love is the center of all being. And as I said in previous modules, love is what rests at the center of creation. So take the yin-yang symbol away and meditate on the symbol. Tell me if you find anything that means something to you. And then share your ideas. Be creative. See what you can come up with, okay? Because like I said, the yin-yang is packed full of all various esoteric stories regarding the story of creation. And that in itself is a huge subject, okay? You might not know it from looking at this one symbol, but take it away. Have a little look. See what jumps out to you. Folks, this concludes Module 4, and I will see you lovely people in Module 5. Have a great day. God bless you. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.